questions or comments do you have about the goal? Yes?
I guess you're always better just to go broad, even if you go too broad.
Yeah.
Instead of giving-
Exactly. As Tina was saying, you can never go too broad. Really, their thinking is so stuck that you need to open their thinking and help to frame that desired state for them. And you don't want to give them like one little strategy because you'll box yourself in. And then you'll box their thinking in and make them more frustrated. Yeah.
I've had someone where I went really broad, destination, first party, and it opened up so many, just going there, just the pace, that was it. It opened up so many possibilities that she hadn't considered before, that she was done after that. She said, don't even ask me any questions. Yes, that is exactly what I want, and now I have some ideas of how to get there, because I hadn't even thought that was what I wanted. She just, you know, she was like, yes, that's it completely.
I've been reflecting on I'm a reading specialist, so I haven't really reluctant learners. And how often I get the kids who are about ready to graduate, but then they just won't. And I think so often we try to work with them and help them to set goals, but it's for a third party desired state that the teacher came up with. And they, like, even when we try to get them to set that goal for themselves, they're so separate from being a first party participant in their own education that how empowering that would be for them to get them to kind of flip it and see some different ways that they can achieve instead of just one path that your teachers have.
Yeah, to open their thinking so they're not just stuck thinking about this one way. There's multiple ways. Other comments or questions?
Oh, I'm just going back to that.
So on page 108, it lists some things to consider when you are crafting an effective goal. And the first one is that the goal is stated positively. So really, you're wanting your coachee to envision what it's going to look like at the end of their journey when they're at their destination. So Tina's example about her father, you want to be healthy or you want to be a non-smoker. That helps them visualize and see themselves positively and not focusing just on the existing state.
The other thing is, once again, this ties into visualizing and then that positive presupposition. By saying what you want is to be a non-smoker, it's almost like there's a positive presupposition there that you can get there. You can be a non-smoker. There's power in the visualization. So if I were to say, don't trip, that's negative, and you visualize yourself tripping. If I were to say, walk carefully, you visualize yourself walking carefully, and then you're more likely to walk carefully. Anytime we email about these sessions, we say, please remember your learning guide. We don't say, don't forget your learning guide. We say, please remember your learning guide. That's stated positively.
Another objective, and we've talked about this, is that the goal is broad. You will box yourself in if the goal is too specific. You want to open thinking. You want to bring their thinking from the amygdala and help them access their prefrontal cortex. And to do that, you ask a goal that just opens and expands their thinking.
And once again, this can change brain chemistry because it takes the brain to those multiple possible solutions instead of there's just one way to fix this.
And then what you want to do is make sure that your goal is brief and simple. It can still be you can still expand their thinking with a brief and simple goal. So you want to feel confident. And what you want is to be comfortable. There's multiple ways to be comfortable, But giving that brief and simple goal helps them begin to think of all the possibilities that I can be comfortable or be healthy or feel confident.
The other thing is in the lead, you are asking questions around that goal. If the goal is so long that you can't even remember it, it's going to be hard how to know what questions to ask. So that really, this once again is for you as the coach to make sure it's brief and simple so you can keep referring back to that when you ask those questions.
And another aspect of an effective goal is, again, it carries that positive presuppositions. So just as Tina gave the example of, please remember your learning guide. That is, instead of saying, don't forget. Another example of a positive presupposition, Tina asked this morning, Paula and I noted it, was, so as you've been practicing, what's come to mind to you? The positive presupposition was, as you've been practicing. So we're going to assume the positive.
And once again, it's about being, feeling, or having. It's about that destination, not the journey. It's not about doing. When people are stuck, they usually can't think about doing. So if we ask doing questions like, what are you going to do? How are you going to fix this? They're going to say, I don't know. That's why I'm stuck, because I don't know. So it's more about thinking than it is about doing.
And I would say this is the model of coaching that is separate from all other coaching because it's really about coaching thinking. Behavior is a manifestation of thinking. And so when you can coach the thinking, then a person is free to think about all the ways in which they want to behave. So when you say what you want is to feel confident, and I can think of multiple ways in which I want to behave to get me to that destination.
And it's about the person being coached. It's not about that third party. We know this. We can't control what other people say or do. We can control how we react to it. We only have control over ourselves. So when you make it that first party, it's going to build that efficacy. So I wanted to share an example from, I was telling them this morning. So yesterday, my family spent the July 4th holiday down. We own a house on the Rappahannock River. So I wanted to leave early yesterday because we're coming back after a holiday weekend. And it's about 2.5 hours away, but down 95. Enough said, right? So I said to my husband, I was like, I really want to leave early. I don't want to stay late. And we had driven down separately. And I was like, I really want to leave early. I don't want to leave late. So we wanted to watch the World Cup, and then I wanted to leave. But he wanted to go out and jet skis a couple more times and go on the boat. And I'm like, I don't want to go home. And I was taking our girls home. So 4 o'clock I leave. Yeah. So I hit Fredericksburg. And I'm in stop traffic, so I texted him. I was like, this is going to be painful for the next hour because I'm in stop traffic. This is why I wanted to leave earlier. Now, if he had said, you're frustrated because you're in traffic and what you want is to be home, I'd be like, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Like, really, all I wanted was like, that sucks, that's awful. That's all I wanted. Instead, I get back something like, what, do you have somewhere to be? You have something to do? I was like, I texted back, I go, that was not a good response. That's all I said. And I was like, I just really wanted, you're frustrated because you're sitting in traffic. And he's like, what, versus, you're sitting in the car versus like sitting at the river or sitting at home. I go, we're not sitting in traffic. Like anything is better than not sitting in traffic. But I'm teaching him. Slowly. Pace me. Just acknowledge the emotion, not about the nail. So, yeah. Anyway, one day I'm going to get this from him. One day.
So right now you guys are going to get a chance to watch a live model. And this will be helpful so that you can just see this in action. So take note. I think Juliet has kindly offered to come up and
Or agree.
agree.
She offered.
Offer. Could I come up sometime later today? No. Watch for the pace, look for the emotion, notice the content, look for that goal, and see what this sounds like, okay?
No, I really thank you for this, because this is almost one of the worst models, because I'm gonna pace her and then we're done. And so she's gonna be like, wait, help me, like, go on, no questions, that's tomorrow.
That's not my problem. You won't get that.
That's right, that's right. Okay, so what are you thinking about?
So I'm obviously pregnant and due end of August, which is right when the school year starts. And so I guess I'm a little bit anxious and overwhelmed, and I have no idea what it's going to look like. I've never been on leave during the school year because my last was in the summertime. And I feel like I have a lot of different projects I have to do, and I recently had a meeting with my principal with more projects I have to do, and it's one of those things that I haven't even started because I don't even know where to start. I'm just going to push it off.
So you're stressed because you're gonna be out and you don't really know what that looks like.
Yes, very stressed. Yes, and I don't want to feel stressed right now when I'm 8 months pregnant.
So what you want is to have a successful year.
Yeah, I want to have a successful year. I want to know what I can do now to make sure that that happens.
So what you want is to feel confident that you'll have a successful year by putting things in place to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, right now.
And you're looking for a way to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
What do Right? So it's just like Tina said, like right now, what you saw, you look at the map, right? The existing state, the goal. The next part would be to move into this, right? To start posing some questions. But instead, we're going to stop. It kind of is, but Tina warned everybody about that ahead of time. So right now, though, think about what you just saw. Think about the pace. What did you notice about emotion? What did you notice about capturing content? What did you notice about that goal? What did you notice about the things that Tina did? What did you notice about Juliet's response? So talk to your table for a moment about the things that you were noticing with the pace.